Hi, I'm Nate Hars. I'm with OG Landshark. We've made a brief little video here to try and make sure that the competitors at the 2012 AWDF are informed to what kind of tracking conditions you can expect, what kind of vegetation, and also how the tracks themselves are going to be laid. We're going to briefly discuss all of this so that when you come to the event you're informed and you know what's expected of you and your team as you compete under the new IPO rules that have gone into effect. If you look at the ground, the vegetation that we have here on the ground, this is going to be similar to the tracking that you're going to see in the fields that we're in. It's going to be a grass type consistency. It's going to be a very consistent, the first track should be the same as the last. And depending upon Indiana rainfall, you're going to have something in the height that this grass is in now up to as high on the leg as it goes depending upon the rainfall. And that's not anything I can control. The grass as it sits right now on the fields that we're going to use is this height. This is what it is as of right now. It's approximate ankle height that you can see where it meets on me as I would lay a track. So it's going to be somewhere with a minimum of this height up to as much as it'll grow in the Indiana rainfall. So that's something you need to be aware of. The actual tracks, the way that they're going to go down, I've spoken with the tracking judge. We've looked at the new IPO rules and looked at how our track layers are going to be laying the tracks. And I'm going to give you a brief overview of how some of that's going to be done so that you're familiar with that. The tracking flag that's going to be used is not this exact tracking flag, but it's going to be something in this height range. The articles that are going to be used for the track are your standard gap A set, consisting of a wood, carpet, and a leather. These are your standard articles that are being used now in a trial, and that'll give you an idea of your size. They are going to be laid down in the order of wood, carpet, and leather will be the order that they're going to lay down for say, an IPO3 track. The tracking flag that's going to be used, again, is going to be something in this height, so it's going to be something up off the ground that you're going to see. The track layers, when they go to the track, they're going to present a small kite string into the scent pad itself. The tracks are not going to be scuffed in. Now, what I mean by scuff in is this type of track laying. It's not going to be present. We've been informed that the track layers need to put down the track as a normal walking pattern. Now, there's been some rule changes as far as the length, the pace of the track, and I've been informed that the pace should be just a normal walking pace. So that's going to be how the tracks will go down as far as not being scuffed, not being kicked in, not being burned in, just a normal walking pace at a normal pace of a grown man. The articles in the order of wood, carpet, and leather will go down. That they are not going to be put into scent pads. Some of the events these are in scent pads. We've again been informed that they're going to go into footsteps. So there again, your dog's going to need to possibly be acclimated to finding an article in a footstep. The track layers, when they put the article in the footstep, they are going to try to present it fairly to your dog so that when your dog encounters it, that they recognize that it is an article. So what I mean by that is the tracking article is not going to be laid into the grass, say in a vertical position such as this, where the dog could potentially encounter upon it and not realize what it is. Instead, the article is going to be placed into a footprint, and we're going to set the article like so in the footprint so that when we move on to it and your dog comes to it, that it's obvious that it's an article and it's been properly placed to try and give everyone a best advantage to try and have their dog indicate the articles. The turns for the track itself are not going to be a 90-degree turn, and they're also not going to be an arcing turn. They're going to be just a smooth, steady movemented turn. So I'll briefly show you here. I'll show you the kite string, the way the scent pad's going to be put in, the way an article is going to be placed, and also how a corner is going to be cut into the track itself. The track layer is going to pick their spot. They're going to see where it is that they're going to put their scent pad and their tracking flag at. They're going to step up to that point, and they're going to pause. Tracking flag is going to be placed into the ground. They're going to pause for a moment at that position. Again, it's not going to be kicked or burned in. After they're paused at this position, they're going to pick out their horizontal point that they're going to line up their first leg on, and they're going to begin their walk. This will be the standard pace and the type of pace that you're going to be able to see for these tracks. Now when they come to an article, they're going to place their footstep They're again going to be minded of how the article is laid. The article will be laid, a slight pause, and they'll again begin their foot movement. When they come to a turn, the turn will just be a normal walking turn into their next leg. Again, reach an article, take the article, properly place it, a slight pause, and again begin into their movement to the next corner with the final placement of your final article. Again, I'm covering this only because of some of the recent IPO rule changes, and also to try to give the competitors your best chance of success, that when you come into the event you can expect what kind of vegetation you can look for, how the articles are going to be placed, how the corners are going to be put into, and what kind of conditions you can expect when you come to the event. I wish everybody the best of luck. I hope you have a great event. Thank you very much.